Hi there, my name is FixFox and welcome to Heroes of Might and Magic 2. This is the FHeroes edition, and today we are on to the Price of Loyalty campaign scenario 6, Aurora Borealis. We have officially gone around the mountain. We will later do scenario 4 where you have to go through the mountain, but at this point all plot points converge upon scenario 6. You can't go around it, you can't go over it, you can't go under it. We've just got to go through it. And because of that, I think that scenario 6 is going to end up being a very good scenario because everyone's going to play it. I'm guessing that there's a lot of care and attention to detail that was put into this scenario. So with that being said, let's dive into the intro and see what we're up against.
Alas, Krager has already retrieved the second piece from Glaive Isle, and all that remains is to race for the northern waste to seek out the last piece. Whoever regains this piece will have an advantage when it comes time to bring the traitor to ground. Curiously, our scouts have returned with strange tales of verdant green lands in midst of the snowy wastes. Whether these tales are true or merely the ramblings of snow-blinded travelers, none can tell.
I'm guessing that they weren't lying. I'm guessing that being snowblind doesn't mean that you just don't understand what's going on around you. Okay, very interesting there that Krager, our enemy, does already have the second piece of the artifact. So we have the breastplate of Anduran as one of our awards, and we are looking for the helmet of Anduran. I'm guessing that he will have the sword of Anduran. This pretext reads, "The Empire is weak in this region. You will be unable to completely subdue all forces in this area, so take what you can before reprisal strikes. Remember, your true goal is to claim the helmet of Anduran." I'll tell you right off the bat, I'm a little scared. Whenever I see that you will not be able to subdue all enemy forces in the area, that means that this is going to be a smash and grab job. This means that we're going to have to really pick our fights and maintain a lot of distance between us and the enemy and do that little dance where they can't reach us, but we are still able to meet our objectives. We have our choice between 3 bonuses. We have either 2,000 gold that we'll start with at the beginning of the scenario, 3 Crusaders that will be on our main hero, or the Traveler's Boots. I will tell you right now, I am immediately drawn to these Traveler's Boots, but as always, let's allow the dice roll to decide what our choice may be. Looks like we roll a 3. So a roll of 3 is going to give us 3 Crusaders. How fitting. And then remember, we do have the Elven Alliance, so elves and grand elves will join our army. We do have a wood bonus, so plus 2 wood per day. It's as if we have 1 additional sawmill with us at all times. Our difficulty is set to hard, as always, and folks, let's dive right in. The third piece of the artifact is somewhere to the north. That much we know. We are still unsure of its exact location, but our spies are out gathering information. The forces in this area are too strong to completely subjugate, so take what you can and hold on to it tightly. Very, very scary. We do start off as the Knights. Now, in the previous scenario, we had mentioned that being the Knight faction was not a bad thing on such a small map, but as you can tell here, we are now the Knight faction on, I would say, a large map. This wouldn't be an extra large map, but it's at least large, and that does not bode so well for me. That's not my favorite thing in the world. We do have Tyro the Knight, who is level 1. We have 8 archers, 3 pikemen, and the 3 crusaders, plus the breastplate of Anduran. Of course, as any knight does, he starts off with basic leadership and basic ballistics. In our main town, we start off with, it looks like a mage guild, which before I do anything else, let me buy that spell book so we can pick up haste, stone skin, and bloodlust. Not too bad for the Knight faction, not too bad at all. And then we have the ability to purchase archers, peasants, and pikemen. We also have some additional troops here in this main building, which is very nice to see. Other things to consider, I guess we do start off with the statue for the extra 250 gold. So a statue and a mage guild, plus the blacksmith for the pikemen. That's a pretty good start. And the well. So we are very far ahead, and I'm thinking to myself offhand that we have some opportunities to be aggressive. There's a whole host of resources here at our feet. There's this gold mine here guarded by a horde of rogues, and a horde is not a small number. A horde is somewhere between 50 to 100. We do have a few ranged troops with the 18 archers, but I'm a little concerned. Rogues can get a little out of hand because they don't have a retaliation penalty. All the same, for a gold mine, that might mean that turn 1 we go this direction. Otherwise, I do see the red tent here. That'll be interesting. Maybe we're going to have to play this game where the enemy is hidden behind certain gates, and until we allow them into our territory or we try and push into their territory, we are going to maintain some level of separation. That would make sense if the enemy is very, very strong. So let's take one step out of the town with Tyro. Let's purchase our second hero. It will be Lord Kilburn the Knight. And he will... Oh boy, did I forget to purchase these troops? I did. Let's purchase all these troops. Move them into this army and then have Lord Kilburn send over all these troops possible. I am going to want him to instead just have the one peasant instead of the one pikeman. And then knowing that we have a fast start available to us, I think that I like this formation. Archers guarded by peasants, crusaders that can respond either to the north or to the south on the battlefield, and then the rest of my troops, such like this. I'm planning on Tyro taking out this horde of rogues. I would be lying if I said that that wasn't my plan. So let's do that now and get the big battle out of the way. Here I am stressing out about it, and it's not even a problem. Not even a problem. Perhaps those 3 crusaders are a lot tougher than I thought they would be. Let's grab this artifact, and otherwise Lord Kilburn, it will be his job to pick up all of these loose resources here on the ground. Now, here's the question. I have 2,800 gold. Is a third hero going to be useful or not? I don't know, and rather than just hope and guess, I have no immediate reasons to pick up a third hero, except that they might go straight for this ore mine. I will wait, and I will not do that. Instead, I will look to purchase whatever buildings it will take to get my upgraded archery. I need the armory. I will need a tavern to make that happen. So let's pick up the tavern on this first turn. And the generous tip for the barkeep yields the following rumor. The truth is out there. Very wise indeed. Okay. Freeing a virtuous maiden from the clutches of an evil overlord, you are granted a Medal of Valor by the King's Herald. That's going to be a +1 to morale. And I'm going to have Lord Kilburn pick up some of these loose resources first. Perhaps he can clear a way for Tyro. Just like that. And then I do see lots of battle dwarves. I'm going to want this ore mine at some point. I might as well push forward now. One thing to think about is the road is safe. That's only a 75% movement penalty, meaning it costs basically 25% less movement points for my heroes to move than on grass or dirt. The snow, however, is 150, so it takes twice as much movement to move over snow. Is it best to go path directly through this tent and then into the ore mine, or would it be better for me to go all the way around? I don't think it'll matter that much. Let's just get what we need. You enter the tent and see an old woman gazing into a magic gem. She looks up and says, "In my travels, I have learned much in the way of arcane magic. A great oracle taught me his skill. I have the answers you seek." And let's push on there. I did get some good feedback from Zentz, one of the FHeroes2 team members, and he indicated that the reason for the change between the tents, formerly requiring you to remember a passcode or a password, to now just simply giving you the free pass once you have visited the red tent, is due to technical limitations and especially related to different languages. And that makes complete and total sense to me. I think that everyone wants to make sure that there's wide access to Heroes, Might, and Magic, and because it's been translated into so many varying and different languages, it's very, very critical that we're able to stop and make sure that it's good for everybody. Some of the special scripts that you might find in different languages, there would be a problem in making sure that those moved over, were translated over, etc. So overall, it was a good change, and if there's anybody who's built a lot of trust with me, it is the FHeroes2 team. They have done a terrific job, and anytime there's some change where I'm saying, that's interesting, or that's new, or that's different, really, I'm not too concerned about it because they've built so much trust with me. I know that there must be a good reason. That's all there is to say on the matter. So this battle is pretty much over. I think that I can just hit Q and end the battle this way, and I can. I take no losses. That'll save me 1 pikeman, and I'll pick up the 2 extra ore per day. We'll move on to this artifact. A stone statue of a warrior holds a silver shield. As you remove the shield, the statue crumbles into dust. That's +2 defense from the stealth shield of protection. Let's get out of the snow. I wonder what this road's going to. It looks like just a windmill at the moment, but we'll find out if there's more. We're going to need this upgraded archery range. We are far and away from being able to afford the cathedral. We would need so many crystal, but it looks like we're going to have plenty of wood. So I'll plan on getting the jousting arena soon, but what more, I cannot say. I guess I'll pick up the jousting arena right now and move on to day 4. Let's have Lord Kilburn go first, just in case he's able to spy something that's new or important. I'm sure that Tyro is going to need to go to the east here because, I mean, where is he going to go? To the south and to the southwest. So with that being said, let's have Lord Kilburn just spy into this territory just to see what's here. It looks like nothing, so I will send Tyro. Do I send him back to upgrade his troops, or do I send him into the distance? 31 archers. I will have the gold to upgrade it. I will take the time. It'll be one additional day out of my way. But we should be able to trade peasants for cavalries. We should be able to upgrade, upgrade our archers into rangers. All of them. And then this is a pretty good looking fighting force. I don't think we have any concerns about this. I'll save the master swordsmen that are currently not purchased here, just because there's a good chance I'll come back, upgrade them, and then I will press on another day. Actually, with only 364 out of 1200 movement points here on Tyro, I think what I will do is I will consider waiting overnight. Will I be able to get... I'll be able to get another upgrade to one of these buildings, but then I won't have enough gold to upgrade the actual troops themselves. So there's no point in sticking around. Let's head back out. And that's actually nice because if there is something tucked away in this corner, Lord Kilburn should be able to let me know. +1 on the defense from the fort. I think that that's worth it to go out of my way for Tyro. Feels like it's very out of my way, but every little bit of defense can go a long, long way. And who knows when I'll come back to this area. Okay. Other considerations. Since I've purchased the 1 through 5th level creatures, I'm not going to worry about this cathedral. Let's just kind of fill out our town a little bit more. Let's make sure we get the farm. Why did I get the farm? What am I thinking? I never get the farm. And you know why I never get the farm? It's because I don't care about 8 extra peasants. Why did I just spend 1,000 gold? Well, my vital signs are good. Maybe I'm coming down with a fever. I can't, that's inexplicable. I can't tell you how I just auto-combated so hard. I can't tell you how I just... Yeah, I was on complete and total autopilot there. Amazing, amazing. Otherwise, let's pick up the marketplace. We're going to need the marketplace. I guess that the farm will be nice because that should add to my ballista should this town ever get attacked. There's my justification. It's bad, but I'll take it. Shrine of the Second Circle, you'll come across an ornate shrine attended to by a group of rotund friars. In exchange for your protection, they agreed to teach you a spell, Haunt. I really like the Haunt spell, and I found something very interesting on the FHeroes2 Discord. So this spell will haunt mine you control with ghosts, and you will summon 4 ghosts for every 1 spell power you have. And the idea is that, well, you're not going to be able to keep that mine, but neither will the enemy. So, very interesting that you can potentially use it to farm some experience in the early levels. The likelihood of that is low because you're going to need spell power, and then you're going to need enough creatures to then feed the ghosts. You're going to need some creatures that you can then, press on in other ways, and then actually beat the ghosts once you summon them. It's an interesting strategy, but on a map like this, I could see myself trying to make use of these 56 peasants. The only problem is that I would have to feed them. I would have to have them in my main hero, get rid of one of these other stacks of creatures, and then somehow overcome 56 stacks of ghosts. It's interesting, but it could totally work. Other purchases to make. It's difficult for me to know what I'm going to need or want at some point, but let's make some of these smaller upgrades right now. It's Week of the Aardvark. Let's see if this will be a free upgrade. I'm going to wait on this free upgrade. I'm guessing at some point my main hero will come back at least once because a lot of these troops are not upgraded in my town here. And so I will plan on coming back at some point, meaning that that tree of knowledge would be better used at a later date. I have no idea what's off in the snow, and I'm not going to go in there to find out. If I had a barbarian here, I would definitely pick up a barbarian. As it is, I'm going to pick up 8 and 2, 6 and 3. I'll pick up Castor with his 6 centaurs and his 3 gargoyles. And he is going to bring me all of my rangers. He will bring me these veteran pikemen. We will leave the centaurs at home, and because he's got the scouting, he will be able to see further into here, and it'll just be another hero's worth of spell points, of movement points, excuse me, that I can use to make the best decisions. Oh, wonderful. This will help me make the best decisions of all. An observation tower. So I'm glad I didn't send my hero into the snowy wasteland there, but I see one barbarian town here, Pig's Eye, and Thundax the Barbarian. Looks like he's got their 5th level shooters. Then we have Atlas. He also has the 5th level shooters and a horde of goblins. So 2 red barbarian towns. I'm guessing that Atlas is the main hero. And then a 3rd barbarian town. Oh goodness. What was the scenario information? The Empire is weak. You will be unable to completely subdue all forces in this area. Take what you can before reprisal strikes. You know, I'm seeing that this might be the challenge here. A fast start, and then picking my spots. I think I've got a strong enough army. I can take Atlas. I do. And if I can, because I'm looking at yellow here, and I'm looking at 2 red towns here. If I can get somehow both of these red towns, defeat Red's 1 major hero, and then just hold on to these for 1 week, I think that would probably behoove me the most. The thing that I'm most concerned about not seeing, I don't see a whole ton of mines. Do you? I see sawmill, ore mine, gold mine, ore mine, and then no other resources to speak of. This land is bare. That's so concerning. This windmill may be the most important feature on this map that I have seen anywhere. Very concerning. I'm going to step on this witch's hut. I can't learn this Shrine of the Third Circle. I don't have the wisdom necessary to do so. But let's push. I'm going to pick up the witch's hut. I'll take whatever skill I can get. Pathfinding is so good. So good. This route is now open to me, whereas before I don't think I would have felt comfortable doing that. I wonder what's in that direction. It could be good, it could be bad. I'm not sure. I'm wishing I'd picked up this 2nd level mage guild before I'd left. Let's pick up the Thieves Guild. As we learned in the previous scenario, as I learned in the previous scenario, the Thieves Guild, once purchased, will give you this screen, certainly, but it will also give you the opportunity to provide scouting information on enemy towns. I had no idea about that. I said at the time that I've been playing this game for 20 to 25 years, and somehow that completely and totally escaped me. Isn't it nice to know that we're all still learning wonderful things about this great, deep, intense game? What's the word I'm really going for there? Deep, rich. It's rich. It's exquisite. It's detailed. It's fine. It's precious. There's a lot of good with this game. Okay, so we've got our Thieves Guild now. No defenders there. No defenders there. Everybody's in their towns. So, okay. All right, let's press forward here. And still, I think I can take out all the heroes I see present here. Very strange that Atlas is not moving. Very strange. Very strange. Why would that be? Why would Atlas stay stock still? Let's have all of our heroes pick up this witch's hut for pathfinding. Castor will be able to get to here next turn. So Lord Kilburn's going to go right here. And Tyro's going to push. I will take out Thundax. No doubt about that. With 11 defense, my knights merely need to protect the rangers and pump out a whole ton of offense through them. So let's fight this fight. This may be a very difficult fight, but I'm not anticipating that spell power will be a critical point of concern. They say I'm going to lose 14 Rangers. That's far too many. That's far too many. Let's fight this fight. And so the spells we have are, again, Haste, Stone Skin, and Bloodlust. Let me make sure I got my turn order turned on. I turned that off for another video I'd made recently. I'm worried about the goblins, but if I can get my Crusaders to do the first strike on these goblins, we are going to do a tremendous amount of damage to them. Thundax the Barbarian does have blood morale, so I need to be careful. For example, I could see these goblins going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 moves in one turn. So even sitting right here with these Crusaders, I am not safe. I am not safe. All my troops are going to need to migrate to the top here. I wish I didn't have that just happen. Or I wish I had known that that was going to happen. I think that as much as I want to get right on top of these orcs and these trolls, it's more important to me to make sure that my Rangers stay alive as long as possible. So if I move 1, 2, if I just move to here, and he doesn't get good morale, then I will be threatening to work on those orcs next turn, even though I plan on the Crusaders being the ones to strike this blow against the goblins. Let's do that. Let's leave our options open. Let's put our cavalries down to the bottom where they're threatening these trolls. It happened! Oh, it happened! It happened! What did I tell you? What did I tell you? I knew it! I knew it. In my very heart of hearts, I knew it. And that one Crusader is now absolutely destroyed. My thought process, my reasoning was all correct. And that's okay. It's nice to know that our thought process and reasoning was correct. Perhaps I should have stone-skinned. Perhaps I should have stone-skinned. Very difficult to say. Okay. Which is going to do more damage, 3 trolls or 19 orcs? I'm sorry for those of you who are on headphones right now and now your eardrums are completely blasted out. My apologies. Well, I can kill 27 to 41. I can kill potentially 82 goblins, or I can kill 19 of these orcs. I would rather, I've already lost the one Crusader. Let's just not lose any more of these Rangers. I think I value the huge stack of Rangers more than I value the stack of Crusaders. Wow, with 8 attack, those goblins just retaliated and 5 pikemen perished. That was a huge blow. Huge blow. Well, I must kill these goblins. I must. If I though haste my Rangers, then the Rangers will go first, and the Rangers can actually take the first bite at the apple, as it were. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will forego the Crusaders' attack, but I will potentially save some Crusaders. I don't think that that'll be enough. I think I'm going to just have to take another loss here with these Crusaders. I do not like the way that this is turning out so far. I really do not. Wow. I will not be able to kill one troll with these cavalries. They're at best, they're going to do 39 damage. And if they don't do a full 40 points of damage, the trolls will respawn. However, if I jump on them now, they're not going to be able to shoot my Rangers. So I'm still going to do it, but I don't love it. I do love it. That'll work. And actually Yep, there's not many goblins left. They did kill that last Crusader there. They did that the previous turn. Okay. Well, from here, I think that the battle is fairly well decided. And what did we do? We lost 2 Crusaders instead of the 14 Rangers. And we lost a whole fistful of pikemen. Not very wise. Not very wise indeed. Okay. But I do think that as many of these Rangers as I can save, that'll be not a bad priority. Hopefully we can keep the enemy from running, but something's telling me it'll be quite the struggle. I'm guessing that the enemy will run right here. Unless I have some offensive spell. Or a haste. Let's haste the swordsman. Let's take out this one troop that has not fought yet. And then let's haste our Rangers one more time. They will now go before the trolls, and we should be able to clean this fight up. Okay, and now the enemy does not get to run. So we used all of our spell points. That was officially, that was the second worst fight I have ever fought in my entire playthrough that we've had here in these YouTube recordings. That was the second worst fight I've ever taken. Because instead of losing an additional 10 Rangers, I lost 5 Pikemen and 2 Crusaders and 1 Cavalry and 1 Master Swordsman. Not wise. The only thing that I can possibly say that was good about that is that the enemy did not get to run this time. But you know what? At that point, not my favorite. We're definitely going to take the logistics. Definitely. And because Atlas didn't set out prior, I'm wondering if he will this time. If I move Tyro towards this town, this undefended town, this empty town, that I think will be worth my time. Let's say that Castor gets to here, Lord Kilburn gets to here. We do a little bit of a resupply. That's probably the best thing we can do at this time. Let's move on to the next turn without looking to see if there's any other buildings that we could build. It's day 4. Will I have enough time to get here and then back? It looks like that's gonna be maybe 3 trolls and then just a few ogre lords. I think that we will be able to, and I'd really like to make sure that we don't have any problems with these heroes. Whatever enemies we can get off the map, the better. So let's do that. Oops. And then as Tyro moves in, we'll have Lord Kilburn resupply. We will trade the 7 veteran pikemen for the 3. Castor does need to get this witch's huts for pathfinding, and because he's got the basic wisdom, he can actually go on to the Shrine of the Third Circle. These 2 enemies are going to be erased. I don't feel comfortable necessarily pushing Lord Kilburn into this territory. But if there is another enemy hero out there, that's good information to have. Let's see. Maybe by the end of this week, we can at least pick up 1 barbarian town. That's my hope. So let's do that. Let's go first here. The enemy has fled. Let's see if we can keep them from fleeing. Yeah, and make sure we don't lose 2 Crusaders again. Oh boy. It's the little things in life. Bloodlust on the ogres. Slow ogres. Take out their shooters. And my whole priority is, well, can I prevent the enemy from running? I think that if my rangers focus on these ogres, that we should be able to do just fine there. And these pikemen, perhaps, do I have enough spell points? I do not. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to need good morale from somebody. Yep, I'm going to need good morale from someone. I didn't get it, but the enemy did not flee. That's very interesting. I thought for sure the enemy would run. How many will I kill? Oh, I should kill them all. Perfect. And now the enemy does not get to run. And that's just good business practice, I think. If you can prevent the enemy from running, then they're not going to be able to use that hero again. And if they had any artifacts, then you can prevent yourself ever having to see them again. And even as they're adventuring around, sometimes enemy heroes will pick up useful things. They'll pick up witches' huts. They will pick up any number of bonuses that they will carry with them. A fort for some additional defense, some additional attack. Whatever the case is, it's always nice to just not have to worry. At least less so than you would otherwise. This hero is not moving. That is so strange. Okay. It's day 4. It'll be day 5, day 6, day 7. We should be able to get this town for sure. And I am going to potentially sacrifice Lord Kilburn. View heroes. Wow, what a fortuitous circumstance. I would have purchased a barbarian if I'd had one available, but I did not. I wanted the advanced pathfinding because there was all this snow for a secondary tertiary hero. That was very, very good. But this spell here, because I had Castor the Warlock and he has the basic wisdom, I now get this 3rd level spell, which is an absolute game changer. Folks, this is very, very fortuitous. Let's see where the enemy's at. Okay, I can work with this. I can absolutely work with this. So as we can see, there's 2 red heroes here, 1 red hero in this town. There is 1 enemy hero here in their yellow castle. And there's this ore mine here. So I don't need to move Lord Kilburn into the distance. He knows, I know what's there. It's going to be an enemy hero. And so we had mentioned in the Thieves Guild earlier, well, we didn't mention it, but I noticed very quickly that there are 3 enemies that we need to dispatch. But there's only 2, 3, 4, 5 enemy heroes on the map here. Very, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. I don't think I'm going to be able to take this town. But because the enemy has not sallied forth, do I need to be concerned? Tyro will certainly not be able to get this town, but I'd really prefer to break Red's forces. I'd rather have 2 enemies both on 1 castle than 1 enemy on 2 castles. That just makes the most sense to me. So we can do a little bit of divide and conquer. We're not going to send Lord Kilburn up. We're going to send Lord Kilburn back home. And then Castor is going to press into the snowy terrain here. And maybe there's going to be something over here. There has to be something over there. And then otherwise, Tyro is going to take this barbarian town. I'm going to try and path a little bit away from this hero Atlas. If Atlas comes out of this town right now, I will be absolutely flummoxed. I will be not sure why he did what he did or what. I mean, why now? Why me? Why now? Oh, interesting. Interesting. Phineas looks like a very tough enemy. But doable. Tough, but doable. Especially, again, because we saved those Rangers, we just have to win the battle through the air. We do have 4 spell points, and that means we'll have 1 haste or 1 stone skin, 1 bloodlust. I'm guessing it'll be a haste. But I think that this is one of those times where even though I don't feel very comfortable fighting this fight, I think I'm going to be having to rely on this high defensive skill, and I'll have to take my fights now before the enemy has a chance to resupply. I think that that's just the way that this needs to go. So let's fight this fight and do our very, very best. I hope that when I click this, it doesn't say that the AI thinks that I will lose, because even if I fight the battle better, I'm worried I won't have enough troops. It says I will win, but at massive, massive casualties. Let's see how this goes. 8 war trolls. That is very scary. They are speed 5. They are fast. My rangers are average. Here's my thing. The wolves are going to go next. So 1 crusader, then the wolves. If I can, I'm going to let my crusader plug up this gap with the terrain, and then that'll force the wolves to go in the middle. If the enemy has a spell that they want to cast, and so long as it is not a blind, then I will then haste my rangers. My rangers will go before the war trolls, and I will take out as many of those war trolls as I can with my rangers, because I perceive them to be the biggest threat. The ogre lords, we will deal with them when we have to deal with them. But in the meantime, let's stick with the strategy and hope that Phineas the Barbarian does not have a whole ton of spells at his disposal. Note that Thundax the Barbarian had 8 attack and then I think 4 or 6 defense. Phineas is still high attack, but not nearly so much. So even though this army is bigger and scarier, sans, 100 goblins, I still think that I'm better off in this fight than I was in the previous one. Except I don't have as many spell points. Okay, that's my strategy. Let's press forward. Aha, and so he does have some spells. There's a bless. I don't know why I keep doing this to my poor crusaders. My crusaders are so upset at me. We do need to cast haste on the rangers, so the rangers will go before the war trolls. Let's get these cavalries out onto the battlefield. Probably going to slip past the ogres and hopefully get into these orc chieftains' face in just a little bit. This will be 2 to 3 war trolls twice. Very useful. There was 11 hit points left, but there's nothing else we can really do about that at the moment. And I think that this amount of rangers can actually whittle down the army from afar. These ogre lords are going to get across the battlefield, and when they do, that's going to be a problem. So these swordsmen, these pikemen, their job is going to be to stop the enemy from advancing right here, while the cavalries can go forth, maybe deal with these goblins, maybe deal with these orc chieftains. So I'm not going to push the veteran pikemen down the battlefield. I'm going to move the master swordsman up. Very interesting terrain in this fight, by the way. This, and this. I mean, there's no way to go this way. There's just no way. These orc chieftains are so safe. They're so safe. And then my crusader is going to withstand these wolves without issue. Let's focus again where we need to. If we can bring down their shooters, I can do more damage long term. I'm very happy to see another bless come out. I really am. How much damage did the wolves do there? They did 11. 11 points of damage, so I can attack here and use my double strike, kill a couple of wolves, and they will not be able to kill this crusader back. 9 hit points left. They're probably going to go down next turn, but otherwise, so be it. I hope that 23 goblins will not... Well, the Ogre Lords will go first, and I'm guessing the Ogre Lords will attack the cavalries. Otherwise, if the Ogre Lords press forward like the Terminator, and the goblins go and deal with the cavalries, I'll be very, very scared, because that means that the AI knows something that I already know as well, and that is that their priority should be these Rangers. And that's just a little bit scary. This Crusader is going to go down eventually. We're going to have to deal with these wolves at some point. At some point. Okay. Thankfully, well, no, these goblins are going to go that way. Pity. And every couple of Rangers is bad. Is a bad beat. It's a bad loss. Maybe I can convince the wolves to attack my pikemen instead of my Crusader. I doubt it, but maybe. Let's try it. I wish I'd left a route for them to escape. Oh, never mind. Oh, no. Oh, no. That was so many Rangers. That was so many Rangers. I will be able to... Oh, no. I needed every single shot to deal with these Ogre Lords before they came in, and I'm just not going to get that opportunity. That good morale from those wolves was absolutely huge. And I keep losing 3 Rangers every single time. Every single time. Skip. We have to take out their shooters. We have to. If we don't deal with these Orc Chieftains, we're just going to continue to get whittled down. I know that they are running low on shots. It looks like they have... How many shots left? 13. Well, they have plenty of shots, but... 1, 2, 3, 4. The Ogre Lords, if I attack these goblins, will get to me next turn. I'm going to just have to take the hits, but I'm going to move the Master Swordsman here and let the Veteran Pikemen be the ones that actually take the strikes from the Ogre Lords. Should I get rid of the goblins, or should I... If I don't get rid of the goblins, they're probably going to take one step forward and attack the Master Swordsman, and then the Ogre Lords will attack anyway. So we might as well take them out now. Take our hits, and then we have to work... We'll deal with that when we get there. At this point, the battle seems fairly straightforward to me. Let's just press... Let's press and attack. Losing that one extra whole round of attacking was so bad. There is no guarantees I win this fight at this point. And here's the problem. I will win this fight, but I may not win the war, because I will not be able to get one of these barbarian towns. This is not going to be enough troops to launch an assault against an enemy. Will it? I think the answer is obviously no. 55 hit points left. Skip. Skip. Make sure the Ogre Lords don't get into my main area. Skip, skip. And it looks like I baited them into staying at least. Well, believe it or not, we actually did do better than the AI did. The AI indicated we would lose pretty much all of the Rangers, and this time we lost half of the Rangers. And believe it or not, keeping every single pikeman and every single swordsman was actually gigantic. After that battle, I think we take luck. I think we do our best to feel lucky. What do we do? What do we do? Well, we send Castor off into the wild blue yonder. Tell you what I think. I think that we give this a shot. I do. I think that we split our Rangers into 3 stacks. And I think that we still try and take this town. And the reason is because what do they have? Maybe 2 Ogre Lords, several wolves. That's actually a lot of wolves. But then goblins otherwise. I think that we see if we can attack this town, and if we can't, make sure that we run, and then we will pop up back here, because gold's not a problem. We'll pop up back here, and then we'll regroup, set out again, and then take a town next turn. Let's see what is available to purchase. So cavalries will be a good upgrade now. Let's get that now. Wow, the enemy felt comfortable sallying forth. Not good. Okay, well that answers that question. Yeah, there was many troops left in that castle, and ultimately that is going to have cost me this fight here, because they were able to pick up 20 orc chieftains. If it was just these troops, maybe I could have done something, but definitely not with these orc chieftains being here. Let's take out their high damage attacking creature there. Let's take out as many of these goblins as possible. Despicable. Absolutely despicable. We're going to get one more round of combat, and then it'll be somebody's last shot to run. So long as we don't lose Tyro, so long as we are able to just simply retreat, we'll be okay. Let's actually move here. Then here. And then we're not going to work on orc chieftains. Let's just take out as many of these goblins as we can. Okay. So less than ideal. All of it is less than ideal, but now is the time to run, by the way. We could try and play risky, but for what? For just a few extra goblins? We will be able to play this just a little bit more risky. We've got the time. We've got the space. I can maybe kill one. Let's kill one. Let's skip. Let's go into a defensive position. And now I'm going to shoot. Yeah, when the enemy runs back to protect their shooters, you know it's done the calculations in its head, and it's saying, oh yeah, this isn't going to be a problem. Let's just skip, try to kill one more, and now we run. We hung in there a lot longer than I planned on, but 3 hit points, I can maybe kill one. I'm going to kill one. Get out of here. And now we run. That's very unfortunate. This is very unfortunate, but this means that the scenario is not over. If we had lost Tyro, I would think that that would be insurmountable odds. As it is, this is the difference between getting a good start and a bad start, is that now I feel like we don't have a foothold, and when the scenario information said you must be able to defeat all the enemy troops, this is what I mean by that. The scenario information said you cannot subdue all enemy forces in the area. Maybe that means that I'd need to take this route with whatever troops I can and ignore the barbarians and just run away from them. Maybe that was the intention the whole time, was to never go here to the north and to mess with these castles. Maybe the plan was always just wander through the snow and go that way. Well, it's not too late. I don't think it's too late. The hour is very late, as it were, but I don't think it's too late. Cathedral's not going to happen. Let's pick up this level 2 Mage Guild. Blind, Disrupting Ray. I don't think Summon Boat will help, but it's day 7. We're about to head forth next go around. Let's actually make sure we pick up this windmill, though. Let's go from here. Okay. Yeah, no, this windmill might be the MVP of this match. Every little bit of resources absolutely helps. Armory. And now all of our troops are upgraded or can be upgraded. Let's get... Should we just focus on champions? We need to get whatever ranged troops we can. They're just so high value for what they provide. Then let's pick up champions. And then let's have them be supported by the veteran pikemen instead of the master swordsmen. I anticipate that if we head out with Tyro now and we just start heading this way, that'll be the best for me. We don't have time to wait, and I'm really guessing that this is the back door to the enemy. Remember, we saw an enemy hero here in the darkness, a green hero. If we can take out that green hero, that'll probably be the best for us. Let's ignore these barbarians from here on out, and if they press their advantage into us, so be it. That just means that we will have to base race it. And this looks like this ultimately the most correct decision was not to go through the barbarians, but to go around them. I wish I'd known that before. That would have been nice. But that's really part of the charm of these scenarios. If you know the ideal playthrough every time, that's going to hurt you in your enjoyment with the game. I'm going to save this hero. I'm going to save Castor. He's got the View Heroes spell. So we got 3 yellow heroes, 2 red heroes, 1 green hero. That 1 green hero has not moved. That's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. Roxana is actually a fairly strong hero. What happened to the red hero that... Oh, there she is. It was Jezebel that took me out just a little bit ago. We need 700 experience now. I'll take it if I can get it. Yeah, okay. I'll take it. Let's get the ballistics. I haven't seen any neutral troops at all on this map, which is fairly rare. Generally, you see something, but nothing at all. Nothing whatsoever. All of these master swordsmen will be useful. We're going to stay one more night. We have 500. We've only used about half of our movement points, but I think it's better to get all these troops at this time. Plus, Castor will be in a position where after Tyro heads here into the snow, eventually we'll be able to catch up with him. Red and yellow are not allied. That's actually really good for me. If yellow can just hold out, if red takes this town, I'm going to be in a really bad position. But if yellow can hold out, I'm going to be feeling pretty good. The longer that they can withstand red, the less time I need to worry about red coming in and trying to fight me. Okay, it wasn't a lot, but we'll take all the troops we can get. Upgrade these pikemen, and off we go. I should have saved the peasant. The peasant should have stayed put. Okay. Castor continues to run. He's going to high-five Tyro on the way through. Roxana knows that we're here. This is free experience. I will start taking this from here on out. And then how far can Lord Kilburn get next turn? Looks like that far, right under this tree. It won't be a perfect swap, but it'll be pretty okay. Because there's peasants with Tyro, eventually we'll catch up to him. That won't be a problem. Yeah, yellow is holding out. I am rooting for yellow so hard. This is one of those things where the enemy of my friend is my friend. This is one of those times. I can't believe I didn't path through the Tree of Knowledge after we just talked about it. Okay, I am gonna split these gargoyles. They'll be useful no matter who they're on. And then Tyro is still gonna continue. He's getting 1,100 movement points a day. Castor is getting 1,300. We will catch up to him slowly but surely. You have just learned that the artifact is on an island north of this continent. However, there does not appear to be any means to get there. Stay very alert for any possible way across the narrow channel. Well, if it makes you feel any better, I did pick up a summon boat. What? Huh? I think that you actually have to have that be a neutral. the way it works with summon boat is you can't just summon a boat out of thin air. You have to have a boat somewhere on the map that is deemed friendly, meaning that it is a boat that is been in your possession at some point. Either you purchased it or whatever. And until that happens, you can cast summon boat, but the summon boat spell will simply fail. That's all it says. It just says summon boat has failed. Let's see, maybe there's something right in here. There's something over there. I think that I'm to the point where I'm desperate enough to maybe start picking up some goblins. Well, it depends on what Castor is able to bring me. But perhaps. Red did take out Yellow's strongest hero there, but so long as this town has... Oh, there's nothing in that town. Yeah, so long as everything's good in that town. Yeah, there's nothing good in that town. 2 additional gems. Let's grab the sawmill, and then let's make sure that we pick up these troops now. I want Castor to be able to go this way. Whatever's over there, I want to get that next turn. It'll cost us a little bit of movement points, but it feels like the best opportunity for me. I'm gonna do something silly. I think I've got plenty of gold. I'm gonna start purchasing some additional heroes. I mean, heck, they come with 5 rangers at a time. But if I can throw them out into the wilderness here and just kind of feed them to the enemy, sure, I will be feeding the enemy experience, but maybe I can use them also to make the enemy go for them instead of press into my territory. Seems a little suspect of a maneuver, but have I ever led you wrong before? Don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. Okay. And then we're on to the next turn. Yeah, if I lose my town here, I'm really cooked. I'm really cooked. Let's trade all these troops across the board. Lord Kilburn has the pathfinding. This might be the last bit of troops that I can use to resupply. This might be the end on that. Castor must do his job, do his duty. And so 16, 10, 10, 105, and 15. That's not a great army. It's really not. But we have our heading. Oh. Oh, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4 barbarian towns here. Very interesting. Do I fight this fight? Pig's Eye is undefended. I think that the point is to not waste your time fighting these towns. I really think it is. If, and I mean this with all earnestness of soul, if I lose my main town, I'm going to have to fight one of these towns. Maybe Castor, instead of seeing if there's anything in here, maybe he will go see if he can just slip into the Pig's Eye. Not wise. Not wise. At this point, I don't think I'm going to be able to get by. I won't be able to slip by. Red is coming straight for me. Let's transfer all the troops back, and we will make one last stand in our castle. It's not ideal, but it's what we got. Let's have Castor go first. Okay, and now that town is defended. Castor, let's have you heroes one more time. Yeah, I think to the north is just right here. Maybe I just slip right by this barbarian town. Let's do this. There's a crystal mine. That's worth our time. That's absolutely worth our time. But it does mean that we are not able to go walk on a land bridge to get to green. Unless the land bridge is right here. Alright. Okay. Let's continue on. Looks like Lord Kilburn will live for one more day. And I'm actually going to send him back. Lord Kilburn is just going to try and waste some time. Maybe that'll be enough to get one more day's worth of, or one more week's worth of creatures here. Let me start building up this town. I got nothing else to really spend my money on at the moment. If I get to a new week, then I will, but otherwise, let's not worry ourselves at this time. I think I'm going to need another town here. I do. I really think I'm going to need one more town here. This is the easier town to attack. This observation tower might be useful. Let's make sure we can take out one town. Let's not fight these fights if we don't have to. Let's attack the enemy where they are weak, and let's dodge and weave. If we're a boxer or a fighter, you bob and weave. Oh no, you know what I just realized? There's this red tent. Wherever the red barrier is, if the enemy goes through the red barrier, I'm going to be feeling pretty silly. I'll be feeling pretty silly indeed. Let's see. If Rebecca could not attack me, that'd be great. Let's go to here. Maybe we can slip around. Castor's going down unless we purposefully save him. And I think I'm going to. Every little bit helps. Aragon is going to stay in the castle. Let's pick up, which is better? Fortifications, moat, left turret, right turret. We already have the right turret. Damage. Let's go for the left turret and let's get as much damage as possible. Make sure that the rangers are here. Let's have the knights, the champions in the middle, and the peasants in the second to the bottom slot. Yeah, let's do that. It's not looking good, folks. Not looking good at all. Okay, we do lose Lord Kilburn. Yellow, like a heat-seeking missile, has pressed the advantage. This town does now have Cyclops. This is probably where I make my stand. If I can fight Jezebel and then take this town, I'll be doing about as good as I could possibly hope for. I will be doing as good as I could hope for, because then I can start to resupply with Cyclops. I do have my Crystal Mine at the moment. Let's fight this fight. If I win, I'm still alive, obviously. If I lose, that's gonna be it. So let's see what we can do. The enemy has fled. Let's make sure that, because Jezebel, if you recall, she's the one that I lost to prior. I'm not feeling too keen to let her run if at all possible. I'm not bitter. I'm really not. But I am petty. I'm very petty. Goblins, and then the Ogre Lords will go. But my Rangers will go before the Ogre Lords. Let's work on this big stack. We know the enemy will run. Maybe I can avoid that, though. We will see. Well, if we're doing things like that, okay. And it's day 7, but they are not going to be able to resupply until tomorrow's turn. However, they have traditionally not been able to buy out all these creatures here in this town. They just have not been able to. And so I don't know what to expect out of them. Fortifications or moat, I think that we take the fortifications. Let's take the fortifications now. We have 136 wood, my word. And Thundax is acting like he doesn't want any part of me. And that feels really good, actually. That does feel really good. Let's end this turn. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, okay. If we can turtle up, I'll be feeling a much better. New month. This will be the month of the Lich. Does that mean that there are now Liches all over the battlefield? Yes. Liches have now appeared in random positions. It is supposed to be random. I don't always know if it is random. It doesn't feel random at times. Jezebel is back. How dare she? Okay, we have to fight this fight. So let's do it. It's going to be costly, but not that costly. This is very doable. This is very winnable. And we already know that she has a certain amount of attack. It's 4 attack, 1 defense. So that's not going to be the main concern. Because of our ballistics, we're going to be able to break through. We do have a right turret, left turret, and the moat that we're going to have to deal with. And it is firing with the strength of 18 archers. That ballista is. So, blood morale. Blood morale. We do have 1 blind, but we do have 2 spell power. 3 spell power. So any spell that we cast is going to last for a while. I have not seen the enemy use a cure yet, so I'm going to wait for the wolves to go. Maybe they have a cure and they will maybe waste one spell on a bloodlust, a haste, something stupid that's not going to actually help them. And then when my veteran pikemen go before their war trolls, we're going to blind the war trolls. That's going to be the plan. And then I'm not going to be as worried about these orc chiefs and these enemy defenses just kind of barreling through us. I do not want to put my champions into harm's way. This is so tempting, but perhaps I can bait the wolves out into the open by moving my champions here and just taking the hit. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Cyclops will not be able to get to me. Let's just see if we can get the wolves to open up the gate for me. They do not. Unfortunate. Now let's use that blind. And I don't mind if pikemen or swordsmen go into the moat. That's just kind of part of their job. That's literally in their job description. 3 to 4. Let's take out as many shooters as possible. Yeah, I don't think that that's a terrible decision. And because I'm fighting my way through these walls so quickly, I think actually Ballista did 22 damage. Left turret did 10 damage. So I'm taking 40 damage from the town's defenses. I think I wait and I let my ballistics just demolish their town and let myself in while my rangers try to do some damage from afar. Let's not get caught in this no man's land. It'll be more worth it to us to wait. Yeah, it'll be more worth it to us to wait, just to skip our turns. Interesting choice. I guess they're going to guard the one... I guess they're going to guard the one active shooter. I gotta kill everybody eventually. Let's just kill what we can while we can. Otherwise, my next best bet would be to go after maybe the wolves, because they're high damage, low defense. Okay, so now there is no left turret, right turret. There's only the ballista. And next round of combat, the war trolls will be unblinded. And we will be able to walk in here on this gate. So let's just prepare for that eventuality. Let's skip. Let's move the veteran pikeman here. Oh. Kowalski analysis. You're telling me that it makes the most sense to you to open up the gate, to not attack veteran pikemen, to not attack the champions, but just to wait and let me attack you? Is that strictly a defensive maneuver where you're saying, look, my 4 Cyclops are not my win condition. My win condition are these 10 war trolls. Is that what's happening? I think that's what's happening. And if that's what's happening, then I'm going to have to agree with their assessment. I'm going to try and get these master swordsmen into these war trolls as quickly as possible. Let's work on these wolves. Let's bring the peasants down. And this is the best use for peasants I've maybe ever seen. I'm going to lose all these peasants right now, and I don't care. 87 peasants, all the same. Okay. Yeah, 1 to 2 Cyclops. We take out 2. Great use of my time. These war trolls are now active. The quicker I can bust through this gate, the better. Yeah, but we'll get there. Yeah, we are going to win this fight, and I don't love the way we're going to win it, but it makes the most sense. And really, the ballistics has done the absolute best for me. These rangers are not going to attack these trolls just in case I accidentally short myself and I don't kill one whole war troll. We're going to try and do as much damage, meaningful damage as possible. And it's not meaningful if you can't kill one whole war troll. But the war trolls are now going to be doing 50% reduced damage. That one blind was massive. Absolutely massive. And from here, the battle is won. Let's just hit Q and finish this. And no, let's not rob you of that. We've done all this work. We might as well enjoy the fruits of our labors because, hey, so far we have had precious little to celebrate. Maybe we need to celebrate while we can, what we can. So, thankfully, we lose 87 peasants. That's okay for me. That's just fine. And 9 rangers, 3 of the champions, 4 of the master swordsmen. We still have a huge stack of those master swordsmen. I think it's like 12. 12 is a good number. 7 champions still, yeah. Only 6 rangers. And that's where I may be most concerned. Scouting or Eagle Eye? Let's take the scouting. I haven't seen the enemy use any spells at all. Logistics is a welcome sight. And we should, because it's day 1, have access to, drumroll please, 4 Cyclops. So, immediately, what do we have? 7,000 gold. We could pick up these 4, which we will immediately. No question about it. Peasants are now going to be defenders. We're going to get the war trolls. They're going to replace the rangers. Should I replace any of these other troops? I don't think so. I think that this is the correct mix, especially for this upcoming fight. Champions still will stay in the center. The Cyclops will be here. Master Swordsman at the bottom. Veteran Pikemen ready to defend. This is still a big army that we're up against here, and I don't have any spell points. Is that concerning to me? I've got 4 spell points. Yeah, but that blind was really good. If I... Here's the deal. If I don't take out Roxana now, she's going to run back to Weed Patch, and that's going to be bad because she's going to get more stuff. I know I've been very aggressive this scenario, and it has not worked out very well for me. But I think that we're going to continue to be aggressive. I think that there's no better time to be aggressive than right now. Let's give it a try. A pack of war trolls. That's so many. Says we're going to win. Let's make sure we don't lose all 7 of our champions. Okay. So we don't have a blind this time, but we do have a curse. Oh, and a curse? Curse. No, not very good there. Probably a curse would be best on, well, any of these troops here. Barbarians are really pretty consistent. A curse does not absolutely decimate their armies, which could you imagine if you're a barbarian enemy or a barbarian hero and you get destroyed by 1 mass curse? Would not be a good time. My trolls are going to go before theirs. 2 attack, 1 defense, 5 attack, 14 defense. We're going to win. I actually think, because of these Ogre Lords being here, I think that if I can go here with the champions and next turn maybe threaten to work on these Orc Chiefs, I can save more champions. And then the Cyclops can work to the north and eventually threaten these War Trolls. It'll take 2 turns though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I have to put the champions at least in a position to worry these War Trolls. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right here. Do I do it? If I do it, I don't attack the War Trolls. I attack the Ogre Lords. I got a Stone Skin. My defense is already 23, but every little bit will make it so that I can really avoid damage. I think I do that. I think I do it. It sounds crazy. It sounds crazy, but to prevent these War Trolls from doing damage from afar, and I can get the drop on the Ogre Lords. I'll only kill 1 or 2, but the Wolves will have to go all the way around, and I don't think they'll be able to. I think that we do cast Stone Skin. I think that we prioritize not the War Trolls, but the Ogre Lords. And we just see where this shakes out. Very weird bless. Not bad, but weird. Let's attack the other ranged creature that can harm us. Yeah, and we're taking very little damage at this moment. Let's get the rest of our troops down the battlefield as quickly as possible. Let's go to the top of this tree instead of down. We can either go down or above. Let's go up. 1 champion down. Yeah, just 1 champion down so far. That 3 spell power on Tyro is actually huge. It's actually huge. It's a new round of combat. I can kill all of these goblins. And that's actually a lot of... Well, no, it's not a lot of damage. Because they have an attack skill of 5, they're going to be very... They're going to be doing complete 30% damage total. 30% of their total damage. These goblins are not going to do any damage. They did 10 damage. They did 10 damage. Let's work on the actual critical troops. Good luck is great. It's Steel skin. Very interesting. Very interesting. I don't hate that move. I don't. I'm going to assume that these orc chiefs are going to get attacked next turn. Let's keep working on these ogre lords. $23, $5, $7. These pikemen though, they can do a little bit of damage to these goblins, and I won't feel like that's a waste. Okay. Perfect. We get the double shot. And then let's stop the orc chieftains from attacking and work on these wolves. I think that the enemy is going to run fairly quickly now. I do. And we need to start working on now one more turn of these ogre lords. I'm just looking at these cyclops. If they attack these goblins, then I'm going to hurt my own champions. And so I'm wondering, should I move into just attacking these war trolls? I don't think so. You know what? To make the best use out of these 4 cyclops, I'm going to make the champions get out of the way. Seems a little strange, but I think that is the best decision. If I can attack these goblins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then the ogre lords can take a hit from the cyclops. Let's go here. Let's go here. Great paralyze. Great paralyze. Because potentially I can use this to make it so the enemy will not be able to run. Veteran pikemen are going to go before my cyclops, and so they're going to actually get out of the way. Let's just pile on the damage as much as possible. I don't have any more spell points, so let's just start whittling them down. Dispel? That's a good dispel. I like that dispel. Do I kill 1 or do I kill 2? Let's kill 2. And then actually, these pikemen can end there. And then my cyclops go, and then my master swordsman go. And then the enemy is not going to get to run, especially when you give me good morale. So we went from 7 champions lost down to 3 and 1 pikeman, and the enemy does not get to run. That. Whew. Okay. So I feel like I've shown everybody what not to do in this scenario so far. This has been an example of, hey, maybe you shouldn't be hyper aggressive and then lose early fights. I think that that's still good advice, to not lose early fights, and yet it's feels like the tide is turning. Interesting thing that I know from my time spent in the Heroes of Might and Magic 2 map editor, you can set a hero to be stuck within a certain radius of whatever position that they start at. For example, I can say that this hero, say Atlas, he can only move 5 spaces away from this starting point, and then it is like he is tethered with a steel chain and a spike in the floor, and he can move in this circle, but he cannot move any further away than 5 paces from this spot. I'm wondering if that's the case, if he's got a 5 space or 1 space anchor where he cannot move, he must stay there. I'm guessing that that's the case because we have not seen him move this entire scenario. I'm guessing that if you come within this area, he will attack you, but otherwise, I'm guessing he will not move, and that's probably a conscious decision from the level designer. Okay, this town, they're probably going to consolidate the skeletons and build, but if I can get a second barbarian town, I'll be feeling a lot better. What to do with Castor? Let's just have him go away from the danger. And Ekdor still being alive in our main town is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And this is going to be a clash. Red, yellow, they're going to continue to fight. Red and yellow fighting and not being allied against me is probably the best news I've had all day. And I've had some pretty good news today, so. Ekdor is now far enough away from red that we can walk this way, get some gold, and we'll start walking back, but we'll see what happens here. We may pick up our ore mine and our sawmill one more time. Any purchases to make? No purchases. This is a fully upgraded town minus the Thieves Guild. I will pick up the other Thieves Guild. I've got 150 some wood. That's pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. And so now with the second Thieves Guild, we can see there's 4 of us. Blue and red. We both have 2 towns. Red has 2 barbarian towns. I have 1 barbarian town, 1 knight town. Green and yellow both have 1 town. It looks like green is necromancers, whereas yellow has 1 other barbarian town. So that's interesting. Number of heroes. I do have the most heroes with 3, tied with yellow. Red has 2, and then green has 1. Gold in the treasury. Green is somewhere off in the distance, probably getting an amazing amount of troops, and I'm just stuck here. Slogging through this first half of this scenario, and slog is the right word for it. As far as hero toughness, green is going to be primarily a spellcaster, it looks like, with 11 spell power. I'm going to anticipate some very scary spells there. Red, look, if Atlas is never going to move from that spot, I may never just fight red, because what's the point? What's the point? He's got a huge army. He's never going to leave there. He's never going to come towards me. Let's just take the yellow castle and then have 3 barbarian towns. 1, 2, 3. Ignore this one and just be happy with what we have. Off of 3 barbarian towns, I think I can eventually overwhelm 1 green necromancer town. So, eventually. It may not be exciting. It may be very slow, but it is what it is. I really like that decision. They purchased the war trolls, but weird that they didn't purchase the rest of the skeletons. What did happen here? Red is sending yellow absolutely scrambling. So that means that Ektor is going to continue on this way. Again, though, I'm very concerned because this red tent was visited by red. Red has 2 heroes at the moment, I believe. Just 2. 1, 2, no others. But wherever that red barrier is that this tent is linked to, if Thundax starts running up here for some reason, I'll be very concerned. Okay, let's fight this fight. No problems. Let's take this town. And it is also pretty much fully upgraded. Steel skin, happy to see that. Cure, magic arrow, blessed, good, good. And then I think that there's still some troops in here. There are. Let's take the war trolls, add those to our army, and then we will consider getting this pyramid as soon as possible. We now have 3 towns, and all 3 towns have a marketplace in them. We are trading as good as we're probably ever going to. Let's trade so much of this wood. So much of this wood. We have 16 now. We're going to need an additional 4 by the end of this week. We are getting 1 here at this crystal mine. We are missing mercury, missing sulfur, missing gems. That's okay. I don't think we're going to need much else. Having this crystal mine is tremendous. I guess that they're not building Cyclops there, but perhaps they will start doing that up here at some point soon. Okay. Alrighty. Alrighty. This is shaping up to be okay. This will be fine. I think we visited everything here. Castor is going to make sure that there's nothing here in this bottom right corner. Otherwise, Tyro, he's going to need to stay overnight at a mage guild or pick up this magic well. I think I can just have him, let's see. Nine and 12. I'm going to keep the champions because they are ultra fast, but 9 and 12. Very soon, it's going to make the most sense to pick up Ogre Lords and Orc Chiefs, I think. Maybe Goblins with all these Goblin huts here. Let's head on to this other town, though. And then we'll figure out what to do in a second. Okay, there goes 1 yellow hero. There goes another. Red is officially mad. Thundax is mad, but that's... He's starting to bleed some troops there. He is starting to bleed some troops, and that bodes very well for us. Especially if he's not going to resupply with Atlas. We got the sawmill. Let's start actually pressing up with Ektor. This windmill's not visited. Let's grab that. Let's start sending Ektor up to the north. Maybe that'll be one more opportunity to resupply. There's nothing here in this corner. And if there is some opportunity to resupply, having 2 armies that are mixed, we will take the best army on Tyro, and then we'll clean out this town for sure, and then we will figure out what to do with Atlas. I might even just buy a hero and just send them into the teeth of Atlas. In fact, I'm going to do that. I will do that. It sounds a little silly to me, but we're going to do that. Interesting that Thundax started to turn back towards Ektor. I'm sure he thinks he can beat Ektor. I don't want him to try, though. I do not want him to try. 1 more week's worth of growth in this town, and I should be able to overwhelm whatever Thundax has going on. A little bit of ore. Let's continue to press forward. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I will have 6 spell points, so I will have that blind when it comes down to this fight, and that's going to be tremendous. Start picking up some of these goblins. We're getting 12 at a time, it looks like. That's not bad. Oh, there's a pack of liches guarding that one. Well, eventually we'll come back and we'll get that. We're still 2 crystals short. It's day 6. Just to make sure I don't forget, because I would hate to forget, let me just get one more crystal now. Oops. And buy this pyramid in Weed Patch. Do you like the town names, by the way? We have Weed Patch, we have Pig's Eye, Sheltonburg, Sandcaster, and Roste. Raced? Not sure. Very strange. I'm guessing that Thundax is trying to walk around me and go into Pig's Eye. We're not going to let him. We're going to fight this fight and we're going to win. Again, because we have 6 spell points, we're going to take out his toughest group of troops, whatever they may be. 1 champion, but he has fled. Let's see if we can prevent that. I really don't want him to run, because I'm guessing he's got some good artifacts. 10 attack, 4 defense. Priorities in this fight. He just doesn't have a lot. He does not have a lot, so I'm actually going to put the champions into harm's way here and hope that the wolves go north, attack, and then they lose some there. I can kill 2 war trolls, so I will kill 2 war trolls. Simple as that. And let's just press our advantage as quickly as possible. I'm going to save the blind for now. For right now. Because these champions will kill, they're going to kill these wolves. And I will be able to kill these orc chiefs, and then I will be able to get a surround on the ogre lords after I've cleaned up all the other enemy's troops, and they're not going to get to run. We're going to prevent the enemy from running. Okay. Cyclops need to attack from the west to the east. And then I've got a couple more turns. It's going to last for 2 more turns. That's not enough time to trade the pikemen for the ogre lords. So let's not worry about that. Let's just skip on everybody. Skip. Get into range. Get into range. And I think that, yeah, the 12 Master Swordsmen will do more damage than the 4 champions. Let's just start this fight off. So we're going to skip. Attack, take the good morale, and just make sure that we don't give them any opportunity to breathe. Okay, no losses, but no artifacts. Very interesting. Let's take the wisdom. At this point, getting wisdom on a knight is pretty difficult to do in the first place, right? And now Tyro's going to have, what, 4 spell power? 4 spell power. Look at you, man. Way to go. So we're going to give him the wisdom, so that way, if we need to, we can build up a 5th level mage guild, and maybe when we're looking to fight those necromancers at the end, that will be the difference between a win and a loss. I could see that being very good for us. We're not going to be able to resupply anytime soon, but if I can prevent the enemy yellow heroes from regrouping, I think that'll be worth my time. Okay. Our spies have discovered that the barbarian hordes are now receiving support from Krager. You must hurry and find the 3rd piece before your forces here are crushed. I'm doing okay. No, I'm actually doing okay. I'm doing okay. It was very touch and go for a little while, but we're doing okay. It says that there's no defenders in here. Oh, but that's because there's an enemy hero right here. Spell points. We're not going to have any spell points for this fight. Looks like we're going to overwhelm them, though. Yeah, I'm not worried about fighting that army, especially, again, because of the expert ballistics. Especially because of the expert ballistics. Let's have Castor wait. He's going to pick up Cyclops and move them to the front in just a little bit. Giant's Growth +5. Well, good thing we're not against any wizards. Let's press forward. I'm going to do something maybe a little sad. I'm going to pick up Halon the Wizard. I will dismiss his halflings. And then he's going to be my sacrificial lamb. He's going to see just how big of an army Atlas has. We're first going to see if we can get around him and get into this observation tower. But otherwise, it's going to be strictly for the purposes of trying to assess the enemy's strength and whether or not we try and attack that town. It looks like this was no challenge at all. We will accept that. And yellow player has been vanquished. Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. This is another opportunity for a pyramid. I think I'm going to purchase this bridge right now because it's day 1. So any troops I pick up here now are going straight into my army. And then I will work on getting the additional crystal that I need. I now have 4 towns, and so I can trade even better wood for crystal. And I don't know what's in here. I'm going to send another hero. I'm going to purchase another hero right now just so I can get out and about. Always happy to see a warlock for my scouting troops because they will come generally with gargoyles, and they already have scouting. So like here, look at this. That's a nice little resource cache. Looks like there's nothing here, and I wouldn't have known that otherwise. Let's clear out these liches. I'm not going to let some liches ruin my day and take out one of my war trolls. Although I just realized I have no spells. I may not be able to make a difference. Maybe I'll get good morale, but I doubt it. I can kill 4. Let's kill 4. Yeah, I'm going to lose 1 war troll. There's nothing I can do. Okay, let's end the battle. Oh, somehow I did better. I'm guessing, I'll tell you why I guessed that I did better. I'm guessing that my war trolls actually attacked the power liches. Even though the power liches had already gone that round of combat, I'm guessing that they went for the power liches. Plus, from game to game, there is a certain degree of variance that you will have because any troop will do a certain amount of damage between a certain number. For example, the war trolls will be doing between 7 to 9 damage. I guess the enemy just got a little bit unlucky, and that's fine by me. Let's figure out. Oh, there's this nice little backdoor area there. I don't think I'm going to pick up this temple. Let's see if I can avoid losing 1 more war troll. Now you see I'm just being, prideful by saying, oh, I was able to save 1 before. Maybe I can do it again. I don't think I will be able to do it again. That was a one-time thing. Yep, there you go. Okay, all right. See, really, at that point, it would make the most sense that I would lose 2 war trolls because, again, my hubris. Oh dear. Those druids took a beating. Let's go here. And then I guess that these 7 druids will get to go 1 more time. But it'll be all for naught. Let's finish this in auto combat. The pathfinding or the leadership. If I get the advanced pathfinding, I won't need the expert. Expert pathfinding doesn't help on snow because now I have the penalty of 100. That's just normal movement. It's fine. At least now snow is not going to be an issue for this hero. Let's pick up this sign. Paper can gain you what wood and sail cannot. Paper can gain you what wood and sail cannot. When I think about paper, I think about mage guilds. There's scrolls here. And there is an addition in the Heroes2, the Price of Loyalty expansion. One of the new artifacts is a spell shield or a spell scroll. And that spell scroll can have any spell on it. And so long as you have, I think, the appropriate amount of wisdom to cast that spell, you can then use that spell against the enemy or for whatever purposes you have. I think that we're going to be looking not for a boat, but for a dimension door spell. That's my guess. That is my guess. Okay, it's day 1. Let's pick up the most important troops. Oh, I need more crystal as of like yesterday. Pick up here, and I'm going to start taking these orc chieftains. I think that I'm going to get a fairly large stack of the orc chieftains. Let me drop off the gargoyles. Or excuse me, the goblins. They start with the same letter. And then, I don't know, pack of liches. Looks like that'll still be there in just a second anyway. We'll come back. We'll come back. I don't think I have any other purchases to make. I don't think it's going to be worth it to me to get paladins. because I'm not going to be able to upgrade them into Crusaders from my main Knight town. I'm not going to be able to upgrade them, first of all. And second of all, they're not going to have a place in my army because I'm going to have too many other good quality troops I'm going to have to deal with. Let's get this treasure trove here. I'll accept those losses. I can't get the orcs, but there's a lot of them. Aha! There's a spell scroll behind a red barrier. Very interesting. I don't know how I would have gotten there otherwise. Are you with me on that? Like, if the idea was to avoid Barbarian, 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 and not clear all these out, well then how in the world was I supposed to get to this red barrier and still stay alive? I don't think it's possible. I really don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm just going to stay just outside of his range, I think. He can have a range as big as they want it to, but maybe if it's a really small range, we'll be okay. Here, I'm just going to split these boars so that way I can make sure that when he attacks me, I'll be able to stop and see what his stats are and see what his troop sizes are. Okay. Aha. So so they've gotten the pyramid in this town now. If I'm going to fight this fight, I need to fight this fight in the next week. 6 attack, 1 defense, 3 spell power. It's not that tough. Not that bad. I can deal with that. Even the large stacks of shooters, I can deal with this army. So I don't think I have any. I do have 1 damaging spell, 40 damage. Yeah, let's take out 1 troll. And then let's just run. But that helped me make that decision in a way that I otherwise would not have been able to. And war trolls and orc chiefs. And, well, I'm out of gold, so I'm not going to get anything else at the moment. But let's pick up some gold. This artifact. Oops. Let me see if I remember that. During a sudden storm, a bolt of lightning strikes an oak tree. Inside of the tree, you discover a mysterious mace, to which I reply, it's not mysterious, it's a mace. You hit people with it, and that's how it works. There's nothing mysterious about it. Never read your own press clippings. Okay, let's take the wisdom there. And then let's go for the gold. Let's go for the gold. And it's day 3. I think I can get back. I think Barak is going to pick up the gold mine and then go right back, and he will help resupply from this town if there's anything else to get. If there's anything else to get. Oh, interesting. While Atlas was out of the town, Natasha was purchased, and now when I attack this castle, it's going to be very easy because there's not going to be, I mean, a throng of goblins. That's going to be a lot of goblins, but the main hero is going to be stuck outside of the town. Somehow, we just made this thing even easier for ourselves. Nice to know. Okay. Well, and now he's going to move out of the way. Maybe she'll get out. I mean, she must. Right? She must. Okay. Orc chiefs. And I do want to work on... I want to take out some of these liches wherever I can, but then start heading over here. Start making trades. I'm going to get rid of the veteran pikemen. They're just not going to be as useful to me as the other troops will be. And then here and here. Atlas will not attack me. And maybe Natasha will stay at home because she's scared of Castor. She does. Barak first. Trade out here. Trade out here. Press into here. Well, if I press too far in, then I will lose Castor. So let's make the trade here. And then that is that. And we should defeat red here at the end of the turn. Which, and again, I don't know how else you're supposed to fight this fight. Am I really supposed to just leave the enemies and just bypass them and go straight for this red barrier? That just doesn't seem possible to me. It doesn't seem possible. That was a red herring. That was a red herring. Okay, so we have a good-sized army. We've got plenty of attack skill, defense skill, even spell power. We even have 7 spell points. Whatever knowledge I can get, that'll be the next thing I'm going to be very happy to see. Let's attack. We do take some losses, but this is the biggest fight that we have until the very final fight. Let's make sure that we fight this fight well. This is going to be a long video, folks. I didn't know if this would be a long video or a short video, and maybe we ended up costing ourselves more time because of that initial misstep. But overall, this is so far a really well done scenario. I really like it. And so far so good. So far so good. He may have a cure, he may have a dispel. I don't know what was in that mage guild, but that slow is going to last for 3 turns. That's a long time. Thankfully, my blind is going to last for 4 turns. Do I blind? I blind the war trolls because they have a higher attack skill than the orc chiefs. And so therefore they will do more damage to me. But also, I'm going to be able to kill more orc chiefs with my shooters. I am thinking that these wolves are probably the most pressing concern, though. Let's work on them. Maybe the swordsman will eventually threaten these orc chiefs. 20 to 26. 17 to 23. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The champions are going to have to fight up here. I'm less worried about the orc chiefs with their 9 attack skill than I am the 12 and 18 attack skill other creatures. And I am more worried about these double attacking wolves than I am the cyclopes. Okay, we are out of spell points. That is fine. 6 to 12 or 1 to 2. Let's kill 1 to 2. I can't stop the wolves from attacking my war trolls. Let's kill 1 to 2 of the cyclops. Okay, and that changes this fight drastically. All my firepower now needs to be concentrated on these war trolls and take those out as quickly as possible. That was an excellent dispel. I guess that was a cure, wasn't it? But that was excellent. And now I know that these swordsmen are going to take a beating from these ogre lords, but my true power is in these cyclops. And if I lose my master swordsman, that just means that later I'll pick up more ogre lords to fill that slot. These troops are expendable. I would like to keep the champions if I can, but I recognize that maybe that's just not a reality in this scenario. Eventually, 4 barbarian towns will overwhelm the growth I could get from 1 knight faction town. That paralyzed does, for lack of a better term, it sucks. It sucks. Okay, let's press forward. So there's no more spells to be had from anyone. We will ruin those war trolls. And let's work on the next biggest stack. The next biggest threat, I would say, is probably going to be these orc chieftains. I will take that 1 loss there. That fight is going to happen in just a second. And then I'm not nearly so worried about these orc chieftains anymore. I've reduced their stack. Therefore, I have reduced my anxiety in regards to them. I do not think that the enemy will run, nor do I think it will matter if they do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I got to go, what, to here? And then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. I don't love doing that, but that's what I'm going to do. And at this point, I'm just shooting them all down. Shooting them all down. Oh no, I made a mistake. I don't want to flambe my own swordsman. Great. Okay. Well, that was a mistake. There's only 4 of them left, but so be it. We're not going to lose any more troops, though. And they do run. Very surprising. Very surprising and very sad, because if they had artifacts, then I'm going to lose those artifacts. I will have to, unfortunately, keep an eye out. I'll accept that loss. I'm going to have to keep an eye out for more enemy troops. or I'm going to see if I can rehire that hero, Atlas, in one of my towns at some point. Let's start to consolidate troops. Let's start to move troops wherever I need to. And then we will consider this scroll. That is probably going to be a dimension door, and that's probably going to get us across whatever barrier we have. Castor, I do actually want him to go pick up this observation tower, and he will explore to this area. Tyro now has a more spell points. I'll take those losses. I should have taken the wisdom. That was a mistake. I should have taken the wisdom. I don't know how many more opportunities I'm going to have to get more experience, and maybe that 5th level spell could have been very important. We're going to eventually start getting all these extra little huts and whatnot, but first, let's do first things first. That's going to include here. I guess I'm going to have enough treasure. Yeah, thankfully, Tyro is going to have a few more opportunities, and that'll be just fine. Castor, do your duty. And so we can see Grand Elves. Remember, we can recruit them. There is some indication that, yeah, you might end up in the ocean, but really, we're just going to end up dimensioning door from here to here or here to here. So that's really all there is to it. We have a plenty big army to go fight over here. Ector is going to continue to go home. Castor will bring in troops from the far east. I don't think that there's any purchases to make. Eventually, I could get a cathedral. I'm not going to. Again, I don't think that the Crusaders or Paladins are going to find a spot in my main army, especially because they're going to be fighting the... Oh, there we go. They're going to be fighting the Barbarian troops, the Cyclops, for their resources, because it takes crystal to get both of those types of troops. We have 4 crystal. We're going to need 16... Does this take wood? No, it only takes ore. So we can trade literally all of our wood for crystal. And because it's day 7... Oh, wait, how did I mess that up? I messed that up somehow. And then we will just make sure that we still have 20 ore left. And get this pyramid. Okay, and this is the start of us trying to overwhelm this eventual enemy. It's so scary to not know what the enemy has. But because we've taken out all these barbarian towns, I think that anybody can recognize, no, you are firmly in the driver's seat. I may have a big enough army right now to overwhelm the enemy. I don't know. I don't know. That was one thing that another FHeroes2 person in the community indicated. They said, well, in that previous scenario, I finished it about a month faster than you, and that's because I ended up being very slow and making sure that I had the amount of troops necessary to win outright. And he was able to press forward instead and do some quick thinking and strike decisively. Perhaps this is an example of a time where it would not be a bad idea to strike decisively. But we're moving things right along all the same. I don't think that there's any mines that we should be flagging that we have not yet. So we're getting all the resources we sure can. We will engage the power liches. It's just free experience at that point. +1 defense, as if we needed even more of that. We need 4,000 experience, but I don't need the gold. I don't need the gold whatsoever. I say that, and then pretty soon I'm going to be completely broke. 5 sulfur, 3,000 gold. I don't have the sulfur for it. I do want that ballista of quickness, though. I really, truly do. 1, 2. We'll trade a little bit there. Pick this up. And then into this red barrier town we go. Okay, wait. So Castor is asleep. Tyro's pressing forward. And actually, I think the Ector is done as well. I don't think I'm going to need him to do much of anything else. Do we have any slots open? We do not. Just out of curiosity, this would have been logistics. You approach the hut and observe a witch inside studying an ancient tome on logistics. As you approach, she turns and focuses her one glass eye on you. You already know everything that you deserve to learn, the witch screeches. Now, get out of my house! All right. A magical barrier stands tall before you, blocking your way. Runes on the arch read, "Speak the key, and you may pass." As you speak the magic word, the glowing barrier dissolves into nothingness. I don't know if these liches were here before or if they were just those liches that came about because of the new month, but either way. Yeah, I don't think that knights are going to find any space in my final army. 49 orc chieftains, or that will be 49 orc chieftains pretty quickly. And then actually more here. I'm going to do something a little sad. I'm going to say, thank you, Master Swordsman. You've been terrific, but I want 25 orcs more. And then here's this artifact. This is, I think, the second time we've seen this artifact. This is the spell scroll. You find an elaborate container which houses an old vellum scroll. The runes on the container are very old, and the artistry with which it was put together is stunning. As you pull the scroll out, you feel imbued with magical power. Right-click. This spell scroll gives your hero the ability to cast the Dimension Door spell, if your hero has a magic book. So we don't actually need the expert wisdom. We just now have Dimension Door in our spell book. Happy to see that. We'll pick up all this. We are 300 experience away from being able to get our next level. I'm actually going to attack these liches just for that purpose. Just for that one purpose. And then at the beginning of this week, Castor is going to come this way, and then we're going to consolidate all of our troops and make the jump and assume that we are tough enough to take out whatever may come our way. True to my word, I will not use Dimension Door until I simply must, until I have no other opportunity or no other chance, no other recourse, really. I said that I would do that just so that way I don't end up breaking maps where maps need not be broken. At this point, it does not really matter. But all the same, let's be men of honor. All right, let's unsleep Castor. Let's have him pick up Cyclops, War Trolls, Ogre Lords, and Orc Chiefs. That will be the main troops I end up bringing with me, I do believe. Everyone else is still asleep. And Castor will meet up with Tyro at that town that's in the very middle there. Wow, look at that. That's so many. I'm not gonna be able to trade for enough crystal. I really won't be able to. This is tremendous. This is great. What a good problem to have. Okay, we've traded all of our resources for crystal. So we still have 20 crystal. That should be plenty, I hope. Let's see if we can get enough experience here. I think that that's enough. That's enough. And then do we take the archery or do we take the leadership? My morale is already absolutely through the roof. I don't need +1 morale. That'll just be too much extra. Too much extra. So let's pick up the archery and take the extra. What is that? It goes 10% to 25% to 50%. That's an extra 15% damage for my orcs and my war trolls. So not too bad. Okay, let's make these purchases here. Here. Here, and here. And pretty quickly you can see that we are getting massive stacks of troops. Honestly, if red hadn't needed to fight yellow, say that yellow was able to, or was not able to hold on, I think that we would have had a very different scenario. I think that yellow did me a huge service. And by sticking around as long as they did, I think that they made it so I was able to have a chance at this scenario. Otherwise, I think that everything would have just fallen apart too quickly. I would have lost my main town. I would have been forced into looking at some fights that otherwise would have just been the worst for me. Fights that would have been for a town that maybe I would have fought Roxana over here in Weed Patch when I shouldn't have. I really think that's probably the most likely thing that could have happened there. Okay. So our final army is going to consist of Tyro the Knight with 11 attack, 17 defense, 4 spell power, 1 knowledge. Somehow we only have 1 knowledge. I would love just 1 more knowledge, please, please. And then 46 War Trolls, 178 Orc Chiefs, 60 Ogre Lords, 5 Champions just for the speed, and then 46 Cyclops. Woo! Woo! We will also have the Ballista of Quickness. And then we're going to have max morale and pretty good luck. Max morale, pretty good luck. Unfortunately, I am going to have to use... Dimension Door takes 10 spell points to use. So immediately I'm going to lose all my spell points, but I will have some good spells as far as a blind. It's probably gonna be my best spell to use. If I can find some other way to increase my points, I'm going to. There's a magic well, so it'll cost us the points. No, it'll cost us the points, and then we will get them right back. I have to move just a little bit closer. This window, I've mentioned this before, this was the original resolution that the Heroes of Might and Magic game ran on. FHeroes2 allows you to increase the resolution, change it, and as you can see, this wider screen is my preference. I think that this is 1280 720. That's the resolution that I play on, if anybody's questioning that. And it feels so much better. I couldn't imagine playing just in this one small window anymore. Been there, done that. I'm just not going back. I'm not going back. Trading post there. Castor, one more time, cast your view heroes. Not too far off in the distance will be this. Pack of liches. No problems there. Interesting that there's so many grand elves. And they will join us. You know what? I'm actually going to... Which is better? Oh, never mind. I just messed up so bad. The elves stand at attention as you approach. Their leader calls to you and says, "Let us not impede your progress, ally. Move on and may victory be yours." And then they run away. What I meant to do was dismiss the champions and then go through the elves, and then I would have a horde. That would be 50 to 100 plus, you know, maybe 20 to 30, maybe 80 to 100 additional grand elves. Unfortunately, I messed that up. My bad. But at this point, I'm not going to worry about it. Maybe, is there an artifact in here? I don't think that they're guarding anything. Okay. And this is our final fight here. Wow. I should have... Okay, it's not too late. It's not too late. We've made our mistakes. But it's not too late. As you approach the group of elves, their leader calls them all to attention. He shouts to them, "Who of you is brave enough to join this fearless ally of ours?" The group explodes with cheers as they run to join your ranks. That will be an additional 70 grand elves. That's worth more than 5 champions, even with the speed bonus. Even with the speed bonus. Maybe there's some other troops up here. I'm searching because I'm trying to be very certain. Looks like there's going to be an opportunity to do some movement over there. Whoa, buddy. Okay, it's only few bone dragons here, and I don't even know how you pronounce that town. But Charity, I think we can take her. Note that she does have a whole ton of spell power. Looks like it's not going to be nearly enough. Looks like we are going to just overwhelm her. I mean, 46 Cyclops. I mean, how couldn't I? Liches, vampires. Liches are going to go first. Blind is not going to be effective against the undead. Let's work on the troops that are going to fight me next. And then let's work on the next troops that will cause me any concern. Immediately, because I have so many shooters, they're pressing forward. The orcs are going to get all jammed up. They're going to have to kill these vampire lords. Or these vampires, excuse me. That ballista of quickness has absolutely decimated the enemy's chances. We will destroy the rest of these liches. We'll take the losses here. Help out our ogre lords just a little bit. And then from here, the battle is won. I won't cheat you out of seeing this final victory, though. Blind seems a little bit useless. Okay. And I'm hoping that Charity has some artifacts that have knowledge with them. Helmet of Anduran increases your spell power by 5. I guess that's it. I guess that's the scenario. There's all this terrain to the north of us, where it's just boats and hidden. But I guess that's it. We've done what we set out to do. I don't think there's anything else to be done. Green player has been vanquished, so we beat red, we beat yellow, and then we've beaten green. So that is the scenario. You have captured the enemy hero charity. Your quest is complete. Okay, great. So folks, that was a very, very interesting scenario. Excuse me. Very, very interesting scenario there. And I really wonder if I'd had more knowledge, would I have been able to dimension door to little islands and seen some interesting things in the north, because there was so much uncharted territory there. Regardless, we were able to overcome. We now have the breastplate of Anduran. We have the helmet of Anduran. So spell power by 5, defense by 5, and Krager will have the sword, which will be a +5 to attack. Once we are able to eliminate him, we should be able to win. We now have this interesting choice. For the good of the Empire, eliminate Krager, or go to the final scenario of Price of Loyalty, Corruption's Heart. Now, we will have to save that for another day. Folks, thank you for being here. I appreciate everybody's input and all of the support. You have no idea how much it means to me. Thank you for being here with me. I hope you are well. I hope your family is well. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next time. Until then, my name is Fix Fox, and I am out.